There's huntsman work, and then there's work that only a huntsman can stomach. In Mistral, you'll get both kinds. Full of thieves and assassins, this is a region where the people can be just as, if not more, dangerous than the Grimm. If you don't know how to watch yourself, a wrong back alley can swallow you up just as easily as a manticore. It's the type of place where secrets live in the open. Perfect for the brazen sort to make an unscrupulous living. Unlike Vacuo, this isn't where people go to disappear. It's where they go to make empires. Hidden amongst the winding mountains and in the belly of the underworld, you're sure to find them. Just make sure you don't stick your nose too far where it doesn't belong.
Hey, welcome. This is season 2 of the Grimm campaign. And man, I like, yeah, we're back. I like forgot everything I was gonna say right at the start of this, but I am your host and campaign dungeon master, headmaster Eddie Rivas, and we've got a bunch of kind of stuff at the top to get through here and kind of get reoriented back in the season. But let's go on to the rest of the cast. Before we do that, starting with the top left, we'll start with you.
I'm Chad James. I play Asher Mora, the lovable rogue who likes to steal Phoenix Wrights.
Hey,
oh my god!
spoilers.
If you guys have a team attack, please call it Phoenix Wright.
We already have a team attack called Objection.
Okay, well there
Yeah.
it is. I'm glad to see we're back on the rails at the beginning of this season. It's gonna go great.
My name's Laura Yates, and I'm pretty sure I play Arashtra Sky.
Top right.
I don't even know anymore. My name is Carrie Shawcross, and I play Pike Wright. If you're not familiar with the show, which is dumb, go watch the first season. I'm kind of the brains. Go ahead, move on.
Bottom right. Who are you?
Exactly.
Tell us.
Oh my
don't know.
God. I am. Yeah, I'm good. I'm confused at this point. I'm Chris Kokinos, and I play local himbo Phoenix Nemian.
Thank you for joining us for season 2 of the show. We're really excited to be jumping back in. We've done a little bit of kind of revamping. We've got some cool new things to show you and a whole new campaign to jump through. We're also very excited to announce that Grimm campaign now has the blessing of Wizards of the Coast and is recognized as a Dungeons and Dragons 5e show, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Good work, everybody. Maybe if they watch the first few minutes of this, they'll still think that's okay.
Officially making all of us wizards.
And then, as always, just like we did with season 1, we are also going to be working with Tailspire by Bouncy Rock, which is going to be a visualization tool to have all of the stuff that we do our D&D campaign in. So we're very excited to continue being supported there and to continue working with them on that. And huge shout out to them. And I believe in that regard, before we kind of get into our character and season stuff, we have a little bit of a surprise to show you guys.
What do I need to roll?
Courtesy of Bouncy Rock and Tailspire.
Whoa!
What is that? Oh!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Look at this.
This is so
Did they make our
cool.
characters?
This is so
They
cool.
did.
Holy crap!
We didn't know about this. They've kept
Yeah.
this from us the entire time. This is the first we're hearing or seeing.
What?
This is like too cool for me.
Yeah, they did us a solid, and all of you guys look awesome. So now you don't have to
It looks
control
so
some
cool.
generic characters.
That's awesome.
And with that, I guess we can just kind of jump right in. Quick recap from last season. I'm just kind of doing this off the cuff, so you're going to forgive me if I forget anything. But the main thing, just to kind of catch us up from the first campaign, is that you guys were not a team of huntsmen. You were just kind of separate huntsmen that were sent to the city of Kuchinashi in the Kingdom of Mistral because there was some fighting going on between some of the criminal organizations that were going on there. As you kind of got there through various antics that involved a crashing airship and a bridge and some gates that took way too long to get past, you guys, you guys uncovered a variety of mysteries that were going on kind of in the city. First of all, that there was the fighting was going on chiefly between the two organizations, the Wave and the Hana gangs. You also learned that the Pastel Construction Company was they were digging in the mountains looking for something in particular, that was kind of an area that a lot of the mystery was circling around, that there was a new leader named Vermilion Raddick who had just taken over the Hana gang. And there was also the presence of Team Smoke, who were some not so friendly huntsmen.
I hate Team Smoke.
Yeah, not so friendly huntsmen who got in your way a handful of times, which led to a bunch of things like you guys getting arrested. You eventually agreed to take on a task by the Taskmaster, who's kind of a big leader in the underworld. We will come back to some of this stuff soon, where he basically got you guys to agree to undertake a dangerous mission for him in exchange for several things related to each of your kind of backstories, where you had to collect something from him from the Pastel Manor. So you guys went there, you did this kind of big Mission Impossible like heist thing at this manor during an estate sale / dinner party. You found out that there was like some really kind of items of curious origin that were found deep in the mountains by the Pastel Construction Company. And those were being put on sale, and that's what a lot of this mystery was kind of circling around and what these guys were fighting over. And you've discovered a hidden base kind of deep behind the Pastel Manor in the mountains. And there you learned all sorts of stuff, right? The main thing that you learned was that the big artifact that everybody was fighting over was a kind of a necklace or pendant that could control Grimm.
We also learned friendship.
You also learned friendship, and you named yourself.
And the loss of friendship between Carrie and Daff.
Damn it! I thought I was hoping I'll never forget.
Yeah, we
We'll
can
never
Never forget.
what happened.
He was
between
like
you and
staring us down while eating his little cocktail shrimpies.
Eddie, how many real world dollars would I have to pay you for Daft to just like be like, water to the bridge?
It'd have to be a lot. So yeah, that's what you guys learned when you went into the mountains at this kind of like hidden base that was back there. It was the Pastel Company's base that the Wave in particular had kind of paid them to find some of these things. There was this kind of bidding war. Yeah, Lemon, who is the leader of the Wave. There's this bidding war that happened over this item that can control Grimm. And that was the thing that Vermilion Radek really wanted when he showed up and kind of took over the Hana gang. And while you guys were down there, Lemon sent like a bunch of Grimm at you guys. You fought them while you were falling down an elevator shaft. You formed up, did some team attacks, and you kind of took care of that situation. You named yourselves Team Sapphire, and when you guys got out of that elevator shaft, you saw that Kuchinashi was burning. And Taupe, who is the junior huntsman in training, Taupe was the one that got in touch with you guys and let you know what had just happened, that the Wave tried to take out a bunch of their enemies all at once, including the city guard and the Hana. And yeah, you guys got the sense kind of as the sun was rising over a new day in Kuchinashi that the city was now up for grabs. And that was kind of where we ended season 1 at. And yeah. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts or anything that you're also remembering about those things, but that is where we left off.
Crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad we're back.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, we love this show, so thank you guys so much for watching it.
Yeah, thank you,
and
everybody. Thank you so much.
Supporting it so that we
Thank
got
you.
to do another season. Please continue to do so that we can
Please.
keep getting to hang out with each other and play D&D at work.
During work, during business hours, please.
Yeah.
I think with all that, if no one has anything else to add about season 1, we can go ahead and jump into this new campaign.
I think we're all itching for it. Let's do it.
I'm itchy and itching.
Just like last
get that looked
season, we are going to start this one off
Do you want to?
with a note from the desk of Glinda Goodwitch, Headmaster. I appreciate the detailed feedback you sent me in regards to the incident in Kuchinashi. As noted in our previous correspondence, the log is frustratingly incomplete, but there are a number of loose threads at which we can continue to pull. I must confess my own curiosity about the particular questions you've raised, especially concerning the items of antiquity. Perhaps my records and findings would be of more use to you if you could provide me with more information. Is there something specifically you hope to find? Some tale you've heard which might help me focus my search? As you yourself mentioned, it can be difficult to operate with a picture only half filled in. A picture which, I'd presume, you have a different perspective on than myself. But to my knowledge, here are a few more scratches to decipher. And while I appreciate and respect the great and powerful Ozpin and his many secrets, what aren't you telling me about Team Sapphire? That brings us to where we are now. So a couple of weeks have passed since that fateful night in Kuchinashi when the Wave and the Hana gangs clashed at Pastel Manor. The wave thought they could take out most of their enemies in one fell swoop, but they certainly didn't anticipate how many they still had lying in the shadows, waiting for the right opportunity to still slit their throats, leaving
Like
their bid
us.
for leaving their bid for power rather short-lived. Since then, Kuchinashi's been in a stalemate, with all of the rival gangs and crime lords coming out to play. If you thought it was lawless before, well, that was just the prelude to what's going on now. Many are saying that the Hana leader, Vermilion Radix, survived. As for the city guard, it has since dispersed, with much of its ranks either dead, hiding, and according to some rumors, captured. Fortunately, there are some committed to restoring order in Kuchinashi. There's Takaya, headmaster of Kuchinashi's primary combat school. He's organized his resistance toward getting supplies and gathering intel to keep the people safe, and they've taken underground, literally, in the sewer systems embedded in the mountain. However, besides a few shopkeepers and the students of Kuchinashi's combat school, there are precious few willing to strike back for the city, which brings us to you guys, Team SAFR. By now, Lemon and the Wave are well aware that the attempt to take you out in the Pestel tunnels was unsuccessful. But as they are currently trying to fry some bigger fish, all the crime lords that are trying to cut their throats, eliminating you has moved considerably lower on their list of priorities. Before the rest of the gangs came out after them, they did manage one very strategic strike against the local CCT station, knocking out communications in the immediate region, which means you all are on your own, without backup. But maybe you can change that. So that brings us to now. Takaya and some of the locals have brought you guys word of an old relay tower. There was a newer tower that was built closer to Kuchinashi because it was in a more defensible location. But that's the one that the wave took out kind of when everything popped off, because they didn't want anybody being able to reach out for more huntsman backup. However, there's an old tower that was decommissioned. It's about a day's walk away from the city. Theoretically, everything there should still be in working order, even if it's running on like old firmware. So with any luck, the wave haven't even considered it, and there's a chance that you guys could get it back online without too much effort. So that's where we are now. You guys are making your way outside of the city under the cover of night. The mountainous forests of Kuchinashi are kind of all around you, spreading out, and you're following the map on your scrolls given to you by Takaya for your trek about a day's journey away. Let me get survival rolls from everybody.
9.
21.
3.
Okay, so Phoenix lost
I have
his
21,
rations,
by the way.
but everybody else did okay.
My taco!
He's the one who
But he's
loves
the hungriest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always hungry.
Can I like comically like slowly open a candy bar in front of him and just kind of like eat it and just like
So we'll get there in a second. So yeah, you guys are moving northwest of the city. The trees are growing thicker. The paths are getting more treacherous. You can actually, like, when you kind of turn, you can see Kuchinashi in the distance. There's still some fires burning. It's not like the way it was when you guys saw it that first night, right? A lot of stuff is kind of leveled out a little bit, but there has been some fighting that's continued, and there's been some spread of destruction. It's not like the city's been burning nonstop for 2 weeks, right? But it's clear even from a distance that there's still some conflict going on.
You guys think we should have helped put that out before we left?
nah.
You're like, it's fine. So after a long day's walk, you guys have we're gonna just kind of open here at a campfire. You guys have built this campfire. Judging by the map, you don't have very much further to go before you get to the comms tower, but you kind of decided to go ahead and take a load off for a couple of hours and kind of go check it out at dawn.
I'm gonna go scout the area.
I would like to very carefully analyze every branch on the ground to find like the perfect ones for the fire.
I'm going to go ahead and keep watch of the tree line, especially as Asher heads that way. I'm ignoring Pike and rolling my eyes a little bit.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a great
It's great.
fire though.
Carrie, you roll me another survival check.
Oh, a nat 20? Oh, a nat 20?
What?
Did you really?
You found it! You found the perfect stick!
You found the perfect stick. It is the right level of dryness. It is. You see it. It like calls to you. Yeah, you sniff it.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
I start like rummaging. You know how like when you lose something in your bag and you're sure it's in that bag, you're like, it's gotta be in here. I am digging through this looking for my tacos. Feverishly. Tacos.
Arashra, is anybody noticing Phoenix's kind of grumbly search through his bag?
I am aware of it, but he hasn't said anything yet.
He's just being
I'm
passive
not sure what
aggressive.
he's looking for. I'm a little distracted. Yeah, exactly, which I will not respond to. So.
I'm a bit hangry right now.
Asher, go ahead and give me a perception check while you're out.
Figured that was coming. Already ready. Here we go.
Thank you.
Nat 20.
Dang.
What is this madness?
All right.
And
Wow.
that's when Asher stumbled upon the perfect stick.
Before we resolve that, kind of where do you think your character's head is at after kind of a couple of weeks, right, of trying to lay low, get the feel of what's going on, right? You guys were supposed to come here and get paid and do this simple job that has since kind of like turned into this pretty crazy one. Where do you guys think that each of your characters kind of is at with that?
I think Pike is uneasy, to say the least. This is a lot of responsibility, and more so than he is normally accustomed to. But not to get too sappy, I feel like Pike has been feeling really good since he met this group of people.
Asher is developing more respect for Arastra each day, and
More respect?
and is building up a tolerance for the other two, and then also like gonna try and use this as an opportunity, like with all the unrest. Like he wants to help out, but mainly it's like with all the unrest and the changing and stuff. There's probably a good opportunity to like make some profit.
Yeah, there's probably
city.
some money to be made. Where's Phoenix at besides hangry?
It's curious. I think at this point, Phoenix up until now has been on a very special, very specific mission for himself, and kind of has just gotten into a lot of fights along the way. Like had a lot of ale and gotten into a lot of fights along the way, just trying to figure out what he's looking for. Find what he's looking for, I should say. But this is the most invested he's ever been in a group. Without getting, again, like Carrie had said, too sappy. Like normal Phoenix wouldn't have come this far. He would have said nah and left to go on his own journey to find the thing he's looking for.
Also, I know we've kind of skipped time by like a week or two, right? Feel free at any point to ask questions about what's been going on, like in the last couple of weeks, and
What's been going on in the last couple of weeks?
Well,
Eddie, please give me an out.
Besides the stuff that's going on with the city, you guys have mostly been holding up in the sewers, right? That's kind of where the resistance is.
Gross.
Like they've literally moved underground, and we'll talk more about that later. But if you're wondering kind of where you guys have been sleeping and like doing business, it's been there. Cool. And so where's Arastra at?
So I originally came to this town just like any other, looking for the next gig, next line of work. I've been doing that for a while. I did not expect to be here for a long time, but I'm starting to second guess that. It's kind of the first time I felt like I belong somewhere in a while, but I'm not ready to admit it yet, so you won't hear me say it.
Okay, so we're gonna get to Asher's Nat 20 finally. Yeah, so with that, you kind of start walking around the tree line a little bit further out into the forest, right? You guys kind of found like a little bit of a high vantage point, and you hear specifically what sounds like a man kind of crying out in pain, but like just faintly, right? It's pretty far away, but you hear it and you recognize that is what is going on. So Asher hears that. And it is coming from the direction that you guys would be following. On your scroll.
I fell on my keys.
Sorry.
Physical pain!
So sorry. After I hear that perfectly enacted scream, what happens?
That's basically kind of what you hear, right? Like it starts and then it like kind of cuts off.
I would like to specifically come out of the tree line behind where Pike is and start to speak, startling him.
Give me a step roll.
Okay.
Yeah,
8.
Chad roll a 3.
It's an 8 with my modifiers.
It's an 8.
Carrie?
What's my modifier for it?
Yeah, be against your perception.
An 8, baby.
We're gonna say that
defender.
tie goes to Pike. So Pike hears you.
Goes to defender. Yeah.
You like trip on something.
He was
kind of,
looking
like,
at other
right away.
stuff. He's focused on the fire.
He's looking on the stick.
He was like,
I
he was
turned
looking
around
for
and
a
I go,
stick.
Oh, hey, Asher.
Hey, there's
Hey.
something's happening up in the distance. I just heard somebody screaming and then it got cut off.
What kind of screaming? Was it because I found this good stick? It's in the fire now, but it was really good.
Yeah, no, it sounded like a man far away and then it cut off. You might want to go check it out. Didn't sound too pleasant.
Oh, unpleasant screaming. That kind.
Yeah, that kind.
Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. Asher, he heard a man.
We should go check it out.
Yeah, if there's somebody in trouble, we need to help them. We're huntsmen and huntresses.
I'm laying down. I just ate that food. I feel like sated. And I'm just laying down. I'm like, why, Pike, why are you speaking in one-liners?
You know what they say when the...
Go on.
Which direction was the hurt man?
It was insert wherever Eddie said
Yeah,
I
you
found
guys
it.
have been heading northwest, so it would
north.
continue to be northwest.
Northwest.
I want to pull out. I want to get my drill out, and light like just the tip of it, just as like kind of like a torch almost, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
I think two of us should go ahead and check it out first. We don't want to leave the camp.
I got the torch, so I'm one of them.
Check it out.
Great.
I'm
Great.
down to get away from this campfire, so it sounds good.
Okay. Well, I'm laying down next to the fire, kind of spread eagle, so I'm just gonna stay here.
All right. So Pike and
You got this
Arashtra are
then?
going
Should-
ahead.
Should three of us then go?
Phoenix has got it. Oh, that's fine too. I'm leaving with the torch now.
I'm not gonna fall asleep.
Okay, so Pike goes on, and Asher goes, and then Arashtra and Phoenix stay back at the campfire.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are
no.
going on ahead, walking through the darkness. You leave the campfire behind you. You can kind of hear Phoenix grumbling more about his food. Arashtra is pointedly ignoring him. And as you guys kind of make your way over the next rise, you can start to see. Well, actually, go and give me a perception check.
I got a 9 again.
Oh, two.
Pike, as you guys kind of go over the next hill, you just barely make out in the distance the top of like an old of that old communications tower, and now you've got a little bit of a heading. Yeah, are you guys going to continue to go in that direction?
Can we hear anymore, or did the voice stop?
No, you don't hear anything else. All you can, the only thing that you've got is that you can see this tower kind of up against the sky a little bit.
Is there a
a trail?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like an old trail
Half motion.
that would kind
Okay.
of head through here because this is an area that people used to come to. Are you staying on the trail? Are you staying in the woods? What are you doing?
I'm thinking that I extinguish my torch.
Okay.
It got us this far, but I'm thinking I extinguish my torch.
Yeah,
And we
I
go on
bet.
each side of the path and walk forward.
Asher is caught off guard and impressed at Pike's decision making.
Pike puts away his book that says good ideas on the front of it. He puts it back in his vest. And he's like, yeah, I was just right off the cuff. Yeah.
Cool. So it's go ahead and
And
give
moving
me.
fairly stealthily.
Okay, since you said that, go ahead and give me stealth rolls.
I got I rolled a 9 plus 2, so 11.
21.
Okay. You guys are able to make your way a little bit further on either side, kind of flanking this path. And as you get a little bit closer, you notice that it's not just kind of like a decommissioned old tower like you expected it to be. You actually see that there is something of an encampment all around it. That there are people that are living here.
I'm not feeling good about going ahead, so I kind of want to just like look over to Asher and kind of like do like one of these back like towards the direction of the camp.
Why don't you go back and inform the others? I'll stay here and keep an eye out.
And I look right at him for like a good beat. Be safe. And then I like away.
You go back,
Sure.
you inform the others what's going on, and then what do you guys do from there?
Real quick, Eddie, can I do a quick perception check to see if I saw anything in the time that they were doing that?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Every now and
What?
then, never mind, it's a critical fail. I saw nothing. I'm blind now.
Oh
I'm
no!
now blind.
This is kind of what I want to throw to the group. I was thinking I go back, get them, and kind of meet back up with Asher so we can all be together and talk this out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, except that Asher got a little disoriented, so he is not in the same place. He is not in the same place. Then.
So,
God.
okay, I'd really like to sneak up on him if I could. I'd like to sneak up on him if I
yeah,
could.
go for it. Do a stealth roll and see if you sneak up.
Carrie
on him.
remembers.
Come on, perception. Now's
13.
your time. Now's your time. 18.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah, so he hears you. He hears
Today.
you trying to. He hears you mouth breathing as you try to sneak up on him.
I want to make it.
I picture him doing his own stealth theme music. You know, like. Is everybody here?
We're all here, and we all know that we need to be quiet.
What do you guys want to do
For what-
from here?
what?
Right. All you know is that there are people here up at this comms tower.
I know we've had some mixed success in the past, but how tall are the trees in this area? Could we maybe climb one?
Yeah, they're pretty tall in this area.
I feel
Narasha,
good.
you want to see if you can get a better look?
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
All right.
All right,
yeah. Give me an
I
athletics
try
check.
to climb this tree as quietly as I can. Okay. 9.
You ever seen a cat hold on to something and they slowly just claw down?
It's kind of a cold, rainy day, so it's a little
fair.
wet, and you're not able to get good purchase on the trees from where you're at. You can kind of get halfway up them, but it's not high enough to see anything.
I would like to stealth my way closer if possible. Like we're not at the edge of the tree line, right?
Yeah, no. Give me go ahead and give me a stealth check then.
I got a 16 by the way.
Asher, you're able to move a lot closer, and from where you're at, you can tell that there are people, multiple people moving around this encampment. From where you're at, it doesn't just look like just kind of like ordinary citizens, right? Like this looks like people kind of
Do they have a uniform? Are they armed? What am I seeing?
no, yeah, they're armed. They're not wearing uniforms.
Do I notice any patrols or anything like that?
They're
does it look
definitely
organized, or-
right there. Yeah, it looks a little bit organized right there. You can see some lookouts kind of near the top of the cliff, but again, right, you're not close enough to see much more than that right now.
I start to feel my tummy grumble some more, and my nose, I would like to emphasize that my nose, maybe I start to glow a little bit, and I start to sniff. And I start sniffing a lot. And I would like to use 1 AP to activate
Okay.
my Beast Mode Keen Smell ability.
Oh, all right. So yeah, everybody's
Where
leveled
did
up
that
to
come from?
Everybody's leveled up to
Yeah.
level 3 prior to season 2, and so now I guess correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding of this is that Phoenix has a little bit more control of kind of like the finer points of beast mode.
So yeah, so in its entirety with my new abilities, I can kind of access some of my beast mode abilities while still being in my standard faunus form.
Okay.
So
Okay,
in
so
this
you
case,
activate that,
I'll
you
be
start
using
smelling.
Keen Smell, which is an advantage on perception checks, relying on smell. Eddie, I would like to smell. I would like to be like Snidely Whiplash's dog, like.
Don't sniff in my direction.
No,
Give me
it's
a
not
give me
sniffing in your
a give me a
direction.
perception check then.
Okay,
man.
an 8 plus 1, so a 9. That did not. My nose is. I'm still learning how to use this ability.
You can smell that there was like kind of an old campfire that has since been put out. Yeah, that's kind of generally what you can
Okay.
smell.
Normally, I would say let's just walk in because we're Huntsman Huntresses and we are the law.
What?
But we weren't expecting this, so I'm a little nervous. Maybe we should just keep sneaking up and see if we can get a better sense of this.
I like how that sounds. Also, I got a hint
I
of
pull my book back away.
campfire. I smelled some campfire.
Volume
I can't-
2.
I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I smelt any food, but maybe we can get a little bit closer.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody go ahead and give me a stealth check.
8.
19.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, great.
Is it?
My gosh. 19 though. 19.
Go ahead and give me one
Joker,
final
baby.
perception check. As you guys decide to sneak through, you guys
come
get
on.
up towards this this cliffside or this cliff. What's everyone's perception?
Not good, dude. I got a 2.
8. It's 8.
10.
15.
Yeah, so you guys are walking up, you get to the kind of the base of this hill, and then as you get there, everything kind of unfolds in front of you. Right, there's several tents here. There's a handful of people walking around. Right, they're armed. They distinctly have the look of people that probably aren't up to any good. You can see a couple up near closer to the communications tower that are standing watch with rifles, and you see a few kind of milling down below, and they're mostly operating in the dark, right? These guys, they know to put out kind of fires late at night, and so it kind of looks like there's still some people on alert. Total 5 or 6 people, right? Some of these, like, there's some tents, but there are also some kind of semi-permanent structures that have been built here. And up near the top of the tower, there's something of like a structure. I don't want to call it like a shed because it's bigger than that, right? But it's kind of a structure where like some of the the technology and the different things that interface with the tower and its firmware and stuff would be located. And nobody else sees this but Phoenix. Phoenix sees something kind of curious, something that looks like a cage, kind of on the ground level, kind of tucked over onto the side of the tents. And while Phoenix is trying to get a closer look at that, Phoenix, your stomach growls really loudly, and and several people overhear you. And as you're kind of like poking out, your stomach growls, and different lanterns kind of flick on around the base of this hill, and several people are looking in your direction. And one guy steps out that looks like he might be kind of the leader of this outfit, and he's like, hey, who's over there? Who goes there? Since Phoenix rolled a 1, he is spectacularly distracting, and you guys can have advantage on this stealth check.
I got a 20.
I rolled a 1 and a 20.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, you roll an
Nice.
advantage? Wow.
So-
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
got
we had
advantage because
We
you
get
are
advantage.
critically
So we
distracting.
both ended at 20.
I don't need to do it, but let me see if I can go ahead and get a couple extra. No, okay, that was better. Yeah.
Okay,
I got an 18.
so you guys are sneaking past. Where are you going? Right, so in front of you, right, you've got the base of this thing. Right, you guys would have to like scale a little bit to get up to this thing. Are you guys starting to scale now? Are you sneaking kind of into the base of this camp where some of the tents are?
Yeah, I kind of feel like the three of us should maybe like stay together a little bit and just move
I think so.
to the side so that they don't see us when they look
Okay.
at Phoenix.
This kind
That's
of
fine.
puts you a little bit into the camp, right? Like we'll say
Okay,
that you guys have moved
sure.
in and snuck behind a tent and stuff, and they're all noticing Phoenix. And there's one guy that's kind of
Have fun, bud.
the leader of this thing. He looks like he could be in his 40s. He's kind of haggard, got kind of like a salt and pepper beard, and he's walking up and he's like, who's over there? Who's over there? And then they're all shining kind of lanterns and flashlights in your direction, and they find Phoenix. And what do you do? What do you say?
I stumble forward. Oh, food. And I fall flat on my face.
That's good. That's good. No, this is this is good. This is very good.
Bravo.
Okay, so he falls flat on his face, and this guy that's kind of the leader of this group, he's like, and they all kind of look at each other. He's like, well, check them for weapons, check them. And so the other guys come running up, and they start kind of like patting you down, looking at you, and they're kind of noticing. They're kind of noticing some of these weapons. They start to try to help you up, and he's like, keep an eye on him, keep an eye on him.
Oh, food. Hungry.
So they start to haul you up a little bit and kind of pull you to your feet, and they kind of look at their leader like, what do we even do about this? And one of them's like, what do we do, Graydon? And he's like, back up, sit him down. And so they kind of move you over into the encampment a little bit, and they've definitely got their weapons pulled on you.
I think we need to find a way to get closer and start climbing.
Yeah, so are you guys gonna hold or are you gonna move?
Like I said, I would really like to do a perception check to see if I now see something that could be important, like a thing that I might know.
Yeah,
about
go
but
ahead and
can't
give me one.
I got a nat 20. Carrie got a 19.
So you guys all did this all well enough, right? That you can actually see that, right? These tents and structures here aren't everything there is to this place. You can actually see kind of under these like kind of camouflage nets, like level or two up, right? That are disguising some caves, like the entrance to caves. And through those, you actually see that there are what looks like more people kind of watching and kind of hiding. This noise from Phoenix has kind of like brought them out. You see maybe what looks like could be like a couple of kids watching even, right? And so like you can't tell how many, right? But you catch like the glimpse that there are like more people watching. You also spot the cage kind of on the same level as you guys are on right now, and you can see that there is kind of one figure in there that isn't moving a lot, but seems to be stirring just a little bit, kind of at this ruckus that's going on, right? And you can you do notice that these kind of riflemen that are further up the hill are paying very close attention. They have their weapons kind of trained, but they're now scanning kind of the outlying areas, and one of them kind of keeps looking back to the entrance of this cave also.
Pike has his good idea book out, and and once he sees the kids, he scratches out "burn everything."
So yeah, go ahead and give me what you're going to do real quick, and then we can go back to this conversation that's happening.
I kind of want to sneak up on that cage and ask, clearly that prisoner. What's going on?
Arastra, how about you and I get as close to Phoenix as we feel like we can without getting detected?
At this point, Graydon, the leader, is looking at Phoenix and he's asking, "Are you alone?"
Yes, I tried to leave the fires behind and I just kind of got lost out here.
Give me a persuasion check. What's everyone else doing while he's rolling that?
I think we should move a little bit closer to Phoenix,
Okay.
but we don't want to be detected.
Okay,
and I don't
yeah.
want to lose eye line on either of them.
Okay, so you guys are moving to a
And that's
spot
why
where
I
you can
love
help
you.
both of them together, and I won't make you do another roll right here. And Asher, you have moved around over towards the cage, and you look in the cage and you immediately recognize the person inside of it. But we're gonna cut over to Phoenix real quick.
18 plus 2.
Is it me? Hey, wouldn't that be crazy?
It's Pike.
Oh, I'm so
Wouldn't that
stressed out.
be-
And then we reveal that like Pike got swapped for another Pike.
For a fake
Right.
Season
For
one.
Pike,
I have a
we've
twin brother.
We've got
Pike
Pike,
wrong.
wrong this whole time.
Yeah.
Pike right and Pike left. That's just how it works. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, so
18
Phoenix, you roll a
plus 2.
20. Okay,
Yeah.
so he hears that you said that you're alone stumbling around, and he's like Graydon hears this and he's like, huh, okay. And he kind of looks over sort of in the direction of the cage, and he's like, thought you might have been with him. And he's like, what are you doing out here all by yourself?
I've already said it. I was running away from the fires. There's just gang wars happening in Kuchinashi, and I'm not from this area, and no one wanted to take me in.
He hears that and he's like, that serves them right. And he kind of looks around and he's like, yeah, we heard about what's going on in Kuchinashi. We left that place a long time ago. We moved here to make a better life for ourselves, and all the dirty business there moved us out. Now we just kind of pick apart what we can with raiders and travelers, and we just assume that most of them are bad guys heading to Kuchinashi, but we don't check too much. He kind of looks at the other guys and he nods for them to go ahead and give you and so they kind of like pull out some stew and stuff and start to bring it out to you. And
I want you to know.
Look at his face.
I want you to know that my eyes, they become wide, and I start to tear up a little bit.
yeah, so he starts introducing himself. He's like, I'm Graydon, by the way. We're just trying to make our life out here, but we can help someone in need that isn't here to mess with our way of life.
No,
And,
I would never. Graydon, I'm Phoenix, and I go for like a brother.
Yeah, he kind of gives it.
Wait,
he
like
kind
a
of
what?
goes
What does
for a
Phoenix
brother.
do? He-
Like the handshake where we grab each other's
goes-
forearms.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything, right? Like you guys are bonding, and okay. So we go over to Asher, and Asher, inside of this cage, you recognize none other than Sheriff Alabaster of the city guard, and he is roughed up. Like this guy has been like beaten to a pulp, and he is in this cage. And when you walk up, are you doing anything? Are you saying anything?
I'm tempted to stealth back to Arastra and friends, and then let them know who is in the cage. Because especially if we've all overheard this, I'm very tempted to just go. Like, I think we should go have a conversation with these people. I'm gonna stealth back.
All right, since you
them.
specifically use the word stealth bag, give me a stealth check.
You were gonna do it to me anyway. Oh, 24.
So yeah, you rolled your stealth check. It was a 24. You beat him. He doesn't even notice you. You back away. You make it over to Arastra and Pike. And what do you guys do? Right at this point, also
So
just to
I
kind
wanna
of
let
give
him
you a
know.
little bit of kind of like background. Right at this point, some of the other guys are sitting down and they're all kind of sharing stew. In Phoenix, I'm guessing you're just kind of eating happily. Yeah, that's sort of like the backdrop of all this. And there's just a little bit of like kind of back and forth conversation going on here while you sneak back and do that.
I want to inform Pike and Arastra who I discovered in the cage. Because basically what I'm trying to convey is that one, is who betrayed us and was clearly corrupt is in the cage. You seem to be like people that are just trying to make their own way.
They don't like
Clearly.
him, and we don't like him.
Right.
Yep.
So
And
we're
he's my
friends.
enemy.
And
Yeah.
they fed Phoenix, and he seems to be having a blast. Like as we
Here's the
look over
problem,
there,
though.
But Phoenix said he was alone.
Yeah.
I feel like they're reasonable. I feel like
I've
they
got
might
it.
understand.
Okay, so your plan, right, is to be reasonable and say, "Hey, it's us. Yeah, sorry, he was worried about stuff, but we're all here. We're here to help." My plan: we go back to the tree line, and then come out like we did the first time. Be like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?"
Arastra, what are your thoughts? Should we try and message Phoenix, asking him to let him know that he had more friends, or should we try and play it off like we're another group stumbling onto this camp mere minutes after he just did?
Let's try to contact Phoenix and see how Phoenix responds to that, and then go from there.
I think that we'll be
I
in a
trust
better
him.
position if Phoenix is the one to let them know. So
Okay, so
I'm-
what information are you putting in
I
this
just wanna-
communication? to
I'm
Phoenix?
going to
Food.
say
I just wanted food, y'all.
very specifically, these people seem like they're all right and they can be trusted. You
Okay.
should let them know about us.
You send the message, but before that message kind of like registers.
Damn it!
For you, Phoenix. So Graydon's been telling you about how they have been able to use some of the backup power that was doing this thing to sort of make their life, right? They've got like a little bit. He's starting to be a little bit more free with you, right? Because he trusts you. Be a little bit more free about how they've got some families here. They live like up in the caves. They kind of keep them hidden. And then kind of during the day they go out and they kind of raid people and steal what they can to make do. But that they've been using the power from this old communications tower to kind of make their way of life here, and it kind of they use it to power everything they do, cooking, things like that. He talks about how we're lucky that nobody even remembers this is out here. So that's he's kind of told you all that right as your scroll starts to. What's wrong, Carrie? He tells you all that.
Wish
Right,
you could have
it's
said
like-
that a few minutes ago.
Right as your scroll buzzes. What do you do when you feel that scroll buzz?
I'm not going to do anything at the moment.
We still have eyeline on Phoenix. Can Phoenix see us, or is he totally?
Give me a perception check, Phoenix.
14.
We'll say that you are vaguely aware of where they are, and you felt this buzz.
So I don't acknowledge it.
Asher is face palming and very frustrated as he clearly sees him ignore the message.
Wow, that's crazy. By the way, this stew is incredible. I really appreciate it.
Green's like, oh, thank you. It's Mitchell. Mitchell. We have a guy named Mitchell here. Mitchell made it.
Chef Mitchell is compliments to the chef. So how long have you been out here?
He lets you know that they've been out there for probably a couple of years at this point, right? That they've been able to kind of get every last bit of juice from this communications tower to kind of keep everything going in the caves.
What's with this prisoner you have? What has he done?
He kind of looks back and he was like, "Oh, that guy." He's like, "Well, he's they call him the sheriff of Kuchinashi, which doesn't mean much." And he kind of looks back and with a lot of spite. Back towards him, he's like, former huntsman said he wanted to use the tower to make some contact to call for help after what happened in Kuchinashi, and we told him we couldn't let him do that because that was gonna taking that tower offline, and using it for anything else was gonna really mess with our way of life here and might alert people to our location that we'd rather not know.
Yeah, the sheriff, you said, Kuchinashi was very lawless when I was there. It's wild place.
So what was his name again? Sheriff, and Mitchell pops in, Alabaster, and just like, yeah, Sheriff Alabaster.
He's a good chef and he's got a good memory. Look at him.
At this point, the fact that someone said Sheriff Alabaster, now Sheriff Alabaster is standing up in the cage, and he looks out through the bars and he sees you, Phoenix, and immediately recognizes you, and he's like, "Hey, it's me. Hey, it's Sheriff Alabaster. It's Sheriff Alabaster. It's me. Help me! And he starts yelling at you, Phoenix. What are you doing while he's yelling your name?
I look up at him and I say,
Graydon looks at you. You know this guy?
I used to drink a lot when I would go to Kuchinashi, and I may have ended up in the, in the cells every now and again on accident.
Sheriff Alabaster starts yelling at you. He's like, "Where's the rest of your team? We need more huntsmen out here."
Is
So
it-
Graydon hears that, and he looks at you, and
More
he's
or
like,
less than 5 children?
Graydon looks at you, and he was like, "Team, you're a huntsman," he says.
Isn't everybody a huntsman these days?
You're gonna have to roll a persuasion check on that one. buddy.
Oh my god.
15.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
We're still in.
He rolled a 16. I'm not even kidding. He looks at you and he stands up and he draws a scimitar. And the rest of the guys, Mitchell especially, looks completely betrayed, and he like snatches the stew out of your hand and like glares at you.
I still have my spoon with one scoop of stew left in it.
And so the rest of them kind of draw their weapons on you.
I stand up and I eat my spoonful of stew, and I said, "Well, it seems I'm done with my meal." And I ready up for what may or may not be
Can I
combat.
burst out of the trees? Like, I would love to just come out and be like, hey, like hands up, super just like disarming, be like, and then I want to start a conversation. If I could do that, that would be wonderful.
So the second you walk out of the tree line, I mean, it pops off. Everybody like draws their weapons, right? Because they were like, right now they're completely on edge. Because Alabaster talked about how he's got a team. You want to explain to me like what's going on out here? They see you come out, and now weapons are drawn. People are shouting. An alert goes up through this camp. And I think that is about where we will end it for this week.
I would just like to make it very clear for next week that Arastra and I are still hidden, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I showed tremendous restraint.
You couldn't abide it
Asher
anymore.
couldn't take what Phoenix was doing at the moment when we had some clear opportunities to be honest and communicate.
Phoenix, I just want to say I know exactly how you feel, and I think you did great.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
I was
so we
hungry.
will-
I wanted a good meal. I'm very full, and I'm ready to fight.
Yeah, we will
Good.
pick it up. We will pick it up there and see how this situation resolves next week.
Next week we will pick up the pieces.
Yeah.